as investors. I'm going to just, for those who haven't sort of seen how our website works, how you can find the auction properties and the off-market properties, I'm going to just spend a little bit of time on that today, because a lot of our investors, they might register by seeing a property on Rightmove, Zoopla. You know, when they register with that, we got some, you know, nice little automated system where you get a link to that property. You can get it on your iPhone or whatever smartphone you got, and you can, what, you know, you get alerts on it on how the auction bidding process is going. But people might just be looking at that particular property and then might not, you know, might not then take the time to have a look at what else we've got available. So, and we've got a lot. Chris, you wouldn't believe it. The amount of deals we've got coming through at the minute is it's hard to keep up with it. Yeah. So I know I've mentioned this a few times before, and I'm going to mention it again today. But you know, I know the market's crazy out there, putting properties on the market, and you know, they can get, if obviously it's got to be priced right, but price right at the moment is an inverted commas thing, because like properties just seem to be selling no matter what. I thought a property in Liverpool that we took on the market the other day would sell for 55 grand. The guys put it on the market, sold it for 70 in a few days. So that's the kind of thing that's just, I'm finding surprising. Yeah. So if you're ordinarily chasing, how do you find the deals? You know, you're an investor, you want to buy, you want to make that money that you've got in the bank work for you, instead of earning 0.1%, get some decent money, decent yields, buy some property that's going to go up in value over the next 4 or 5 years or whatever, because this is the time to do it. I can imagine it might be frustrating if you're chasing deals. So working with us and companies like us, there are opportunities where maybe you can get, you know, increase your luck really of winning you know, an auction, or at least getting the property that you want to buy, rather than going head to toe with like loads of investors or buyers and first time buyers who may be chasing normal estate agency deals. So there are some ways that you can work with this more proactively, Chris, in order to you know, increase your chances of getting the deals that you want. So I'm obviously I'm going to show some stuff like that. I'm obviously also working with a few investors a bit more closely. We've got this mentorship program. We've got a handful of investors on that who I'm also buying properties with on JVs. We've got some properties where some of the sellers don't want to go to auction. They want a bit more of a quicker sale than that. So we'll buy those properties and add value, turn them from 2 beds to 5 bed HMOs. So I'm working with some of our investors on deals like that. And we're also actively looking out for deals that are coming through the pipeline for another handful of investors who are fully set up, ready to go. We know exactly what they want, you know, and we can negotiate a deal with them and the seller before properties go to auction. So we're doing all of that, guys. So if you really are interested in building your portfolio and buying deals, obviously, you know, make a note and, you know, add a comment below and, you know, say, yeah, I'm buying deals, or help me buy deals. Just put a comment below, and myself and Chris can reach out to you, and we can add you onto our A list. You know, so we've got, you know, we've probably got about 9,000 buyers on our A list, but there's a few of them who are actively you know, searching in various areas. We can, if you reach out to us and you know, maybe add a comment below A list, we can reach out to what kind of properties you're looking for, what postcode areas or what cities and towns you're particularly interested in, and we can get our system set up to send you alerts to properties that come up in those areas, especially if you're looking for HMOs. We can get you set up to get HMOs in certain areas or HMOs nationwide. But if you're looking for, you know, buy-to-lets in Manchester or Liverpool or London, we can get it all set up for you. So you just get the alerts and the property in their locations and the properties that you particularly want. So Chris, if I got the ability to share my screen, have I?
You will have in 2 seconds. There we go. It should be good for that now.
Right. Okay. So if I just hold on, let me just national residential. So yeah, if I just share my screen here. Right, so Chris, what can you see me? I mean, can you see me on Google? Is that what you can see? Is it?
Correct, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, guys. So for those of you, you might know how to do this or not. Obviously, we're National Residential. We'll call the online National Residential Estate Agency Limited, a long-winded name, but our trading name is National Residential. So if you Google us, this will come up. We come up over here, and top of the SEO rankings. We obviously come up over here on the Google thing if you're registered. You can see our Trustpilot reviews here. So, we get some good reviews, by the way, 4.6, on Trustpilot. Same likewise for the Google review. So, we try and, we work hard to do what it says on the tin, which is help sellers get a quick sale, help buyers get the properties that they want. And, and our team works hard resolving all of the inquiries and getting deals over the line. So that's what we do. That's why people come to us. And that's why we're busy at the moment. Investors selling deals, wanting to get out of the market because they want an easy life to retire. Younger, more ambitious entrepreneurial investors wanting to make the money work for them, get into the market. And we're this like business machine helping do some matchmaking in the property market, help get investors the solutions to their goals, what they want. But if you Google it, if you don't know what our web address is, just Google us. Click on here, just click on our website, and this will take you to our website. And probably the important thing, there's some stuff up here. If buyers, you can have a look here, what our auction information is. We do things like joint venture funding. There's some online terms and conditions there, so you can familiarize yourself with that. But probably the most important thing really is I wanted to show you today, guys, is how you can find some properties. So we've got, for our properties for sale, we've got most of our properties go through our modern auction. So our modern auction works where obviously a seller comes to us with a reserve price, say 100 grand. We'll market it. It's somewhere a guide between 90, 100, or whatever it is. We put it on the market. We look to try and get the seller the best price that we can within 28 days. But to be honest, in the current market now, we're putting some properties on the market, and we're doing a handful of viewings. All of our properties have video tours, and people are phoning us up and saying, look, how much to take it off market, rather than wait for the 28 days for it to go to auction. It's just the way that the market is. It wasn't like that 2 years ago. It's a bit different than that. Properties were going the full time scale, but now people are putting their hands up, putting the bids forward. We go to the sellers and we're trying to agree deals as fast as we possibly can, if we're being honest. So if you have a look on here, we've got UK auctions, and we also split it out for those people who just want to look in London. London also includes areas around the southeast near to London. But if you have a look, we got London auction, UK auctions, London auctions, and off-market property. So I'll just quickly go through how our auction listings work, and then I wanted to spend a bit more time today showing the off-market properties, because that's where people, I think, are missing a bit of an opportunity. I wanted to show you guys that. So if you click on that, auction properties, because we sell our properties quickly, you haven't got, unlike if you go on Rightmove or some of these other property sites, you might not have hundreds of properties to trail through. We've probably got anywhere between 20, 25 properties at any one time, because we sell them all weekly, monthly, and there's always kind of new stock. But if you have a look at that, you can go down, you can see a property here, for instance, River Green in Clifton. That was guided at 130. The bid ended at 146. That was a 3-bedroom tenanted property. So if you click on that, you can see that although that auction's ended, you can see the kind of information that we bring on. You've got the photos there, you've got the video tours, you've got the property information. This one set, and you've got all the legal packs over here. So if you click on the legal pack and your EPCs, and this, that, and the other. All the information's there if you want to look at it. So if I go down a little bit more to see if we've got a property that hasn't quite ended yet. So we'll have a little look here. So where's one, a property in Chadderton in Oldham. Okay, so this is a nice property. We have a look at that. You know, it's reasonably well looked after. You know, a nice house with a loft conversion there. You know, nice sort of back area. So what you've got here is you've got downstairs, you've got a big reception room, kitchen, entrance hall. You've got the 3 bedrooms and a bathroom upstairs and a loft room. And currently we've got that guided at offers us in excess of 150. The current bid on that at the moment is 155. We've got 5 days left of that auction. So, you know, you've got all of the information there. You've got a video tour. You can watch this video tour. And this is the description says here, the bedrooms are 3-bedroom semi-detached property with a loft room. It's currently tenanted, sorry, at 575 a month. It could be increased in line with the market rent. The tenant's been there for 5 years. So somebody can look at that and say, right, okay, what would I pay for that? You know, I would then sort of, you know, have a look at the postcode here, have a look at property prices on Rightmove, what they're on the market for now. 3-bedroom semis in that area on Rightmove, maybe do a broader search within a quarter of a mile, just see what property prices are selling for. Also look at the recent sold prices on Rightmove and say, okay, well, what is that property worth to me? You can, once you, if it is a property for you, you might say, well, like, you know what, I could probably do something with this. I've got a loft room, so subject to planning, subject to you know, what the council say, you might be able to turn that into a bedroom. You've got 4 bedrooms upstairs, although the 3rd bedroom might be a little small. You could have a look at whether that fits the regs. The reception room downstairs is the full length of the house, so you can convert one of them into a bedroom. So there is the potential there of turning that property into a 4-stroke, maybe even 5-bed HMO if you wanted. So somebody could look at that and say, look, I'll buy that. I've got a ready-made tenant in it. I'm happy to have that as it is. Go through the planning process, speak to the council and say, is that a property that I would be interested in looking at and converting it into a HMO? Do a little bit of investigation on it, call us, ask us for some questions, and then come back and say, okay, well, I'm interested in buying that. I might be interested in buying that for 160,000, for instance. I don't want to pay any more than that. And if you wanted to bid up to 160,000, you type in 160,000 there. In order to make sure that we're matching bids with our investors and the real bids, we always ask our investors to put their phone numbers in, and you would then agree to the terms and conditions. You always want to check them, place your bid. That would then take your bid up to the high. Next bids would be take the current bid up from 155 to 156, because they go up in £1,000 increments. And like eBay, your maximum bid would be 160,000. So you wouldn't have to come back to this all of the time. The system, our automated system, would bid on your behalf up to your maximum bid of 160,000. And then if you got outbid, you would get an alert like it does on eBay, and it would say to you if you wanted to come back and increase your bid or not. So that's how the bidding process works. If you need any help with that, by all means, call us. We don't just do online bidding. We basically will take an offer from people any way, shape or form. All the offers that we get, we do enter into the online bidding, aka similar to a proxy bidding process that you would get when at the public auctions and the traditional auctions, where you see the auctioneers taking bids off their registered the registered buyers and the registered bidders. So we would then input those bids on your behalf. So if you wanted to phone up the sales staff and say, look, I'm willing to go, you know, can I go to 160, 500, or just put an extra £500 minimum bid in, we can do all of that. Or you could say, look, I want that property. You know, there's just something about it I really like. Would the seller take 165, 170 to take it off market, and then the bidding? And then basically what we would then do is have a chat with the seller about that. And if the seller says yes, then we would basically have a buy it now process. We would let any other buyers who have already put a bid in out of courtesy and within our process, we would say, look, we've had an offer from an investor to take this off market at 170. He's going to pay the deposit in the next sort of 10 minutes. So you've really got that kind of time really to decide if you want to increase your bid and be willing to pay your deposit. Otherwise, we're going to sell it today. So we do that. We do that on the phone. So you can use the online bidding to an extent. And then if you want to speak to us on the phone, then by all means do that. We might take bids by email off investors who we know to be serious. They've been registered with us for some time and they might have deposit funds with us, but usually we won't take bids by email. We need to speak to people, make sure they're genuine bids, otherwise you can bid online. So yes, so at the moment, guys, if you wanted to have a look at our auction bids at any point, if you go to properties, look at UK auctions and you click on that, then that will bring you to the auction properties. Okay, so if I come on to the most important part of today that I wanted to just let people know about, which is our off-market properties. Now, what's the difference between off-market and our UK auctions? So our UK auction properties are not just on our website, but they're also on Rightmove. They're also on Zoopla. You know, they're obviously out there on the World Wide Web for people to see. When we look at our off-market properties, we might only have about 4 or 5 at any time that are off-market, but these aren't on Rightmove yet. They're not on Zoopla yet, and there might be a reason for that. And that reason might be, you know, the sellers are looking for a quicker sale. They don't want to upset tenants at an early stage. It might be that we're getting our due diligence together, that we're still getting the tenancy agreements, the HMO licenses or whatever. So as we're getting that information together, that could take a little bit of time. Or as it, you know, what we want to then do is put these properties that we know are great deals for our investors. We want to put them out there to our exclusive A-list buyers who are registered with us for off-market property alerts. Okay, so if you want to get registered for off-market property alerts, and I'll go through some of these example deals, then please just put A-list in the comments below. We'll look you up on our system. We'll allocate you. We'll talk to you or email you, find out, you know, what locations and properties you're looking at, and you could be on this A-list. So, for example, we got 4 different types of properties here that are all good prices, in some extent great prices, and you get the benefit, which is really rare in the current market, of an opportunity to buy properties with either below market value to an extent, where you can add value, and definitely where you can get good yields. So there's a different mix here. So one of the I'll give you an example. One of the properties here. So here's a property which is, if I bring this one up, it's a property in, I hope you spell that, Taymouth in Devon. It's about this property is about 500 meters, so just a short walk to the shops, to the seaside. Okay, so this is a prime property really for a holiday let. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, so in the current market, people can't go on holiday. I'm not going to go on holiday this year, absolutely not. Can't be bothered with the hassle of the testing, can't be bothered with the risk of not getting a negative test and a positive test in our group and not coming back. So we're just, you know, so staycations are all the rage. And this is so this property If I tell you what it is, so it's a 4-bedroom detached bungalow, and as I say, it's not far from the sea. You can have a look at, if you have a look at the map down here, and you open that up, you can see it's not far, and it's probably going to take you about 5 or 10 minute walk to or whatever, a few hundred meters to drive there. But this is currently rented out as three flats at £2,100 a month already. However, if you have a look at the market there, depending on what type of investor you are, and we speak to some investors who buy properties like these, they rent them out as holiday lets, or they rent them out as HMOs. And the scope here to increase this rent here in the local area for a property as nice as this to £500 a night as a holiday let, particularly in the summer. I think our summers are going to last maybe a month or two longer this year with the way that the lack of, with the staycations. Or I noticed that similar properties are getting rented out on a monthly basis on Airbnb between £5,000 and £6,000 a month. So there's a lot of scope with a building like this, with a property like this, depending on the investor and what you wanted to do. But if we have a look at the numbers here, so this property is, we've spoke to local agents. Similar properties are on the market, sold subject to contract for £380,000. Okay, so you do your own due diligence, have a look at that, speak to the agents. We've done that. We know that some similar properties are selling for about 380,000. So this property, we've got it down as a buy it now price before it goes to auction at 355. So the seller will take that. If it goes to auction, we don't sell it before auction. It'll obviously sell for whatever price, it sells for. And there's obviously a bit of time that we've got available for this, probably about another 11 days. It might end up being a bit sooner than that, but no more than 11 days opportunity for some of our investors to have a look at that and decide whether they'd like to make a bid on it to take it off market before it goes to auction. So just have a look at some of the photos. Obviously, it's a nice property. If you have a look at this this floor plan, so what you've got is it's an extended bungalow. So it's been extended here with a balcony. It's got a lounge, diner, 3 bedrooms, lounge kitchen, another kitchen down there. So it's got 2 kitchens, 3 bathrooms downstairs. So it's been rented out as 3 flats at the moment because you've got this other annex over here. So there's plenty of scope with this property. And as I say, it's already rented out at £2,100 a month as 3 flats, and there's scope to increase that substantially more. If you're interested in maybe exploring any more details or looking to make an offer, you can obviously fill in this form, put your name, email address, mobile number, and a note for your best offer, or just call us on this number here, 01244 341 066. That's the number that's behind Chris. Give us a call and we can discuss that with you. But as I say, this is an opportunity to get a kind of holiday let staycation home. It's in gorgeous condition, and it just absolutely tick a lot of people's boxes. I'd love to stay there in that just a great, that'd just be lovely, fly down to Devon, drive down to Devon, stay there for a week. But I think somebody told me that, to stay anywhere for like 4 to 5 days at the moment is costing £1,000, £2,000 as holiday lets, because there's just nothing available. So, bear that in mind. So that's one example. Another one, which is a bit more bread and butter, is a property that we've got in Liverpool. We're getting lots of properties in Liverpool. We're working with some investors who bought a few years ago. The prices have gone up, and they're looking to sell up and cash in. So here's another one. So we've got this. If you look at similar 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom terraces in Liverpool at the moment, a lot of them, even in poor condition, are selling for 115, 130, sometimes up to 140. In good condition, they're selling for a bit more. In this area, people who are doing really high quality 4-bed HMOs, really done to a top standard, they've been able to sell them for once they've got them let out, they've been able to sell them based on yield for like 200 grand. So there's some scope and opportunity with these if you're interested in how you could add value and make the money. So this property at the moment, we put an estimated value on it of 135. So if you have a look here, you've got 3 bedrooms upstairs, a 4th bedroom downstairs, so that could be a 4-bed HMO. Some of the local properties have been extended out the back, so you could potentially have another bedroom down here, because you could move the wall here, and the lounge could become a kitchen diner. You could have another bedroom here where the kitchen is. You could potentially turn that into a 5-bedroom HMO if you got your go in there with your builders, have a look about whether you can move these rooms and that, and what the room sizes are. So there's plenty of scope for that property. It's in reasonably good condition. Yeah. It's an end terrace. So some of the mid terrace properties are selling for 115. I normally think an end terrace will sell for 10 or 15 grand more than a mid terrace. So it's great. You don't have to spend any money on a new kitchen. The bathroom's fine. Nice laminate floors, walls done. So you could probably a lick of paint, or not even that. You could get that sorted. Yeah. Now this is already rented out and tenanted on a room by room basis for £950 a month. Potential to get an extra room there, 1,200, maybe a little bit more, £1,300 a month. It's currently rented to students, so it's exempt from council tax, and it doesn't need a HMO license because it's 4 people less. We know the HMO officers in Liverpool really well, and in order to look at the scope of extending that, I can help you, my team can help you. Basically, you pay 80 quid, the HMO officers come down, have a look at the property, have a look at the roads, and say, yeah, we've got no problem with you doing what you want to do. Yeah, so I bought 2 HMOs recently. One I've converted a flat above a shop into 9-bedroom HMO. I've had the council involved in every stage of that. Initially thought we we're going to be a 10-bed, but then they said no, best to in order to make the staircase compliant and this, that, and the other, we recommend you doing it as a 9-bed. And so I didn't have to spend thousands of pounds on applying for HMO and planning and architect's drawings and this, that, and the other, until I just basically paid 160 quid to get the HMO people out, look at my builder, come up with some draft plans, they give it the thumbs up, and now we're there. We did it same in a property also in L7. It's similar to this, but it was a 2-bedroom terrace. And just yesterday, my builder, my HMO letting agent, and the council all met en masse at the property. And I said, look, can we do a loft conversion on this? Can we do a small extension out in the back? We'd ideally want to take it from a 2-bedroom and 2 up, 2 down into a 5-bed HMO. And they've given us the all clear on that. It's cost me 80 quid to get the all clear from the council, the head HMO compliance officer. And now we're just going to complete the purchase on that, do the refurbishment, and then one of the properties on that road that was done to a great standard as a 4-bed sold for 200. So if we get a bit of luck, we might sell ours for more, 250, 220. So if you think about that, buying a property for 95 grand, which is what we're buying that one for, and then we might spend 40 grand on the conversion or whatever, that's going to be a great profit. We're just going to buy that, get it all set up, get it fully tenanted, put a proper agent in there who specializes in renting HMOs, and we're going to sell that as a ready-made HMO to either some investors who just want a simple hands-off experience. So that's a bread and butter one. For those people who've got bags and bags and bags of cash, yeah, people who've got like some good money, and we're putting properties on now in the £1 million bracket, 1.1 million for houses that have got multi-flats in there or whatever. So they're a bit more substantial down south. We're even selling them really quickly in weeks and getting lots of interest. And here's a property in Hastings, okay, and it's a super deal. So this is an investor. He's hit 70. He's got plenty of properties that he's looking to sell in the in the Hastings area, and he actually owns this whole row here. So if you look at all of those properties there, they're basically 4 double-fronted Victorian terraces with 3 floors, okay, and each floor is a big 2-bedroom flat, okay, so you've basically got 3 2-bedroom flats in each of those blocks, so it's 12 flats, all fully let out, all in nice condition, all great condition. And those flats at the moment, if you have a search in that area, a local agent sold 1 2-bedroom flat for 175, another one at 180. They told us they'd easily get them sold for 150 in a heartbeat, basically. So it kind of puts a minimum valuation really on this for about 1.8 million, maybe more. I think the seller would probably take 1.3 on this for a buyer who's ready to go, who's an absolute, you know, set up, ready to buy purchaser. At the moment, you've got those 12 2-bedroom flats generate a rental income of 64,000 now, but those flats, you know, you could add even more value to that, you know, subject to speaking to the council. You know, you could rent some of these out on a HMO basis. You can increase the level of rent that you're getting, but even that, you're buying them at a substantial discount. So we've got, you know, so just show you some of the photos on this. You know, they're obviously not like yuppie, brand new, you know, top of the range flats you get in London, but they've been well looked after by the occupiers in there. They've been there for some time. So you can buy those properties now, get a steady income right now, getting them with guaranteed equity already, with the future potential, depending on what type of investor you are, to look at, well, what can I do with this? You know, you've got a kitchen here, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, and a big sitting room. You know, depending on how you structure that, you could have at least, you know, 2 room lets and possibly 3, you know. So, you know, there's a lot of scope for these, there's a lot of scope for these flats. So that's for anyone who's got £1 million, £1.5 million to burn, looking to get something more substantial. You could buy a whole block of flats in the one area there, all already fully let out, and you know, that's an investment that's going to, you know, be fantastic for somebody, the right buyer. Something similar in a similar part of the world down in Dover. So we got one here, Folkestone in Dover. So this is another investor who's looking to sell their portfolio. He's got a few properties on that road nearby. This is also, this is the last one I'm going to share with you. Photos, we'll have better photos on this during the course of the day. I just robbed an external one from Google while we're waiting for our agent to upload them. But this property is again, you're buying a freehold. It's a 3-story Victorian townhouse split into 4 1-bedroom flats. Currently all let out, achieving just short of £2,000 a month. Each of these flats is worth, you know, depending on, you know, the agent or the market, you know, our valuations are saying 90 grand. You might get a little bit more, maybe 95 grand a flat. You know, prices are increasing all of the time. This is like, you know, close to the center of Dover, fully let out, and the vendors selling, you know, a selection of these. So if you missed out on this one, we've got another one coming on the market in the same road. So as a, you know, as a valuation at 90 grand a flat, there's being 4 flats in there, it's worth 360. We know that the seller would look to take about 310 for that, to sell it off market. We're already in discussions with investors about that who want to buy in this area, you know, buying Folkestone, Dover. This looks like a good deal for them. And, you know, we're just negotiating the price at the moment. So that's why I say, if you're an A-list investor and you're geared up, ready to go, you're ready to pay your buyer's fee, ready to pay the deposit, this property could come off market before it goes to auction. If it goes to auction, it might sell for 360, it might sell for, you know, anywhere between 310 and 360. But you've got an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm happy to buy that. I've done my due diligence, and I'm happy to buy that property for 310 now. And I say, if you're interested in something like this, if you're interested on being a list, just register A-list below. If you've got any questions about any of these properties now, today, I can look to help you out now. maybe answer some questions you've got. But my team, who've got all the legal packs, all of the information, all of the stuff on the tenants, just give them a call or fill in this form here. And then we can get back to you today, answer all the questions that you've got. So these are the types of properties that we've got that are off market while they've got tenants in them, most of them. So they're off market while we're getting all the marketing information together. They're off market because I know the sellers want a quicker sale. And they're off market because we know we can sell to A-list investors who are ready to go. They've got the agreements and principles, or they've got the cash. They're geared up to complete in the 56 days that we want. And the seller's willing to take a sale before going to auction, as long as it's the right price and it works for them, and the buyer is ready to go. So that's a selection of the properties that we've got. I say the one at the top could be a holiday let Airbnb. One in Liverpool, you could have value on it, turning it into a 5-bed HMO. And these two are fantastic investments for people who want the self-contained flats rather than the HMOs in block. So we always get a mixed bag like that. If you're interested in them, let us know. So I say, if you come back to the website and you Google National Residential, click on the link and you go to the properties at the site. We've got off-market properties and the UK auctions. Just check it, just check those on a weekly basis. Let us know if you want to be on the A-list, and we can send, when a new property comes on the market, we can send you an alert. You get it by text message to your mobile phone, and you can just click on all of those pictures. It's all mobile friendly. You can register your interest from your mobile phone. You might be sat on the Brighton beach having a look at a property, and there's one around the corner that we put on. You can go and have a look. All the details will be on the mobile phone, and just let us know if you're interested. So Chris, that's my spiel done. That's my little cap on there, little recap on how our properties work, which would be good for people who don't quite know. And if we've got any questions, happy to answer them. Otherwise, the guys can just, as I say, fill in those forms or call this number here, 01244 3410 066, or email you, Chris, on team@national-residential.com, and we can discuss with them any queries that they got. Okay,
perfect. So I'm going to leave the contact details up for about a minute or so at the end of this. So anybody that's watching this on the replay, for example, the contact details are going to be there. Just get in touch. There's a lot of property coming up, massive activity in the markets nowadays, and we're happy to take calls from people 24 hours a day as well. So get in touch and let's start things moving. If anybody wants to know more about working with us or education or any help and support, just drop your comments below. Just let us know what you're interested in, and I'll follow up with that later on over the next few days, and we'll have a conversation. Let's win together. Let's take advantage of the market as it is right now.
I just want to kind of remind people about the mentorship program that we do, Chris. So it's not just, I work with a handful of investors who are serious investors. They've got a few quid, 50, minimum of 50 grand. Most of them have got a few $100,000. They're looking to buy properties. One of the investors I'm buying is going on a JV with myself and my business partner on a property similar to this one in Liverpool. It's currently a 2-bed. We're only going to do that with somebody who I know. I've taken him through the mentorship program. He understands what it's like to get into a JV. I'm confident that he understands the risks and knows what he's doing. He's been buying his own HMOs in Sheffield and places like that. He was a little bit unsure about the Liverpool market. We provided that reassurance because we're buying there. We've got all of the contacts there. So he's putting in half the purchase price. Business partner's putting in the rest. I'm putting in the money to do the refurbishment. So it's a 3-way JV. We'll get the work done and we'll get it sold. So that's the kind of opportunity you can get if you join with us on, join the mentorship program, or you register interested in doing JVs. We work with serious investors like that. So there's plenty of opportunities. If you reach out, guys, let us know what you're interested in, and I'm sure we can help you in any way. Just reach out and put a comment below, and Chris can reach out to you or as I say, call those numbers, and you know, you can have a chat with my team on any deals that stoke your interest. All right, Chris, if we haven't got any questions, are we good to go?
Yeah, we're good to go. So anybody, any questions, drop it below. There'll be a lot of people watching the replay. There's about 20 people joined the group whilst this was going on as well. So if anybody's watching the replay afterwards, still drop your questions below. We will be following up with that afterwards. And then, yeah, let's chat. Let's get these things moving.
So Chris is on his way up to the Lake District today, guys. So give him a bit of slack if he hasn't got back to you. If there's anything urgent today, I suggest that you maybe give that 01244 341 066 a call. But if you register any kind of note, Chris might be able to get in touch with you, but he's going to enjoy his going on a bit of a jolly for this weekend, and the guy deserves a bit of a break in the holidays. So have a good weekend, Chris. Okay.
Thanks, man. And you.
Have a great weekend, guys. If you need anything we can help with, don't forget, reach out. But have a lovely weekend, and bye for now, and see you again next week.